People gonna know we're here. That's the goal, to come redeem their animals. But also the goal is to sell the image of the the pit bull that nobody wants. There's always somebody who loves that pit bull, and we will like blast that image. That's what we want to blast that image to connect that person out there who might love this pit bull right here.
Hello, and welcome to the Cloutcast. I'm Erin Hegarty, and I'll be your host this week. Before we begin, I have a little riddle for you. What do a peacock, an alligator turtle, monkeys, kittens, and dogs all have in common? Yeah, sure, they're all animals, but they are also all animals that the city's animal care and control have had to recently, care for and control. Chicago Animal Care and Control is led by Mamadou Diakhate, who has basically been at the helm since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. The department is tasked with caring for and controlling animals throughout the entire city, or as Diakhate points out, their coverage zone is the same as the Chicago Police Department, only they're dealing with pets, strays, and wildlife. Last week, I sat down with Diakhate at Animal Care and Control located on Western Avenue near 28th Street and talked about how both predictable animals like dogs and cats and wildlife that often isn't even natural to Chicago get cared for by the city. We also talked about how more city funding dedicated to marketing and advertising is helping Animal Care and Control not only get the word out about adoptable pets, but is also ensuring Chicagoans know the resources that are available to help them care for their pets. All right, let's dive in. Okay, can you explain what all Animal Care and Control is responsible for in the city of Chicago and what it means to, control or care for all of the city's animals?
Well, Chicago Animal Care and Control is a unique department and animal care that's in this business are obligated to uh, deal with anything related, any issue, any concern, anything related to animals in this within the city of Chicago limit. Uh, Among other, many of our facets that we and program that we use, we're talking about stray intake, removing vicious and dangerous animal off the street to keep people safe, investigating those bites, investigating animal cruelty, removing them from a harm situation, a harmway situation, and also going to court to testify. We got an educational obligation to teach people, owners' duties and responsibilities. Um, we work with other city department to deal with talking about even abandoned house where they need to be properly boarded to avoid infestation of wildlife in the neighborhood. And to that effect, we got a wildlife management plan that is very well appreciated by many actors, and we work to that. Actually, we work with Lincoln Park Zoo and PhD student from Cambridge to design it. But also, I will say that our level of cooperation with other department to help, hoarding case, to not just bring assistance to the animals, but also to the human factor too. And once all those animals get brought here, we have a dedicated team of employees that work, hard to kind of care for them, properly care for them. And we got a veterinarian teams here also that do surgery on those animals and spay, neuter, and other care.
And we're like in between spring and summer right now. Is there a specific, type of animal that you always see around this time, or what is this point in the year like?
Well, right now, let me say this: special animal. Yeah, we're seeing cats, more cats, because this is the cat season, like they call it in our environment. We see a lot of kittens, newborn coming, mom and kittens. So the cat population is getting slowly to that high that it used to be around this time. But then when we talk about the notion of s- transition spring summer. Unfortunately, we don't have that this year, but because in the past, what used to happen is that during winter and spring, uh, animal population are very low, and we call it the break season, where you can just like get prepared for summer, which is the peak of the population. But what we have kind of learned this year, with the recovery, is that we don't have that transition anymore. It's just the population been high all the time,
Wow.
and it's just getting higher with summer. So that could be due to a lot of things, the recovery itself, eviction, people just changing lifestyle, moving to other state, out of state, moving to other new housing where dogs are not allowed or cats. It could also be due to the fact that during the heart of the pandemic, spay neuter in general was halted for a while,
Okay.
and to conserve drugs, the dogs that use for human utilization, and that also kind of augment the population of stray animals, and we're seeing those effects too.
Mhm. And what about, I mean, do you guys do stuff with like bird rescue, or what type of like
Yes,
wildlife do
yes.
you
In,
see?
in, in Chicago, our animal care control are trying to do everything. As long as a living creature will do it. Yes, we do birds. We pick up birds, injured birds. We pick up stray birds, and actually, we got a peacock not long ago, and not Peacock the TV, the cable network, but the real one. And it was fascinating, beautiful. Someone called us and just found it walking around, and
Where in the city was that?
it was, I believe, not far away. Let me see. It was in the south side actually, and it was very, very fascinating, to see a peacock just out of nowhere walking, and I think is. Let me make sure I know the address. I remember that. Yeah, it's not actually far from here in Paulina,
Okay.
in the south side. So uh, he came here. It was fascinating. That's. I mean, we love to come to work to enjoy this job. Our employer love this job. The animal lover, but that's one of those days when you see something you never see it in your life, and everybody was very curious looking at this. Like, that's a phenomenal things to see. But we transferred it to a rescue, and from what I heard, it has been adopted by a veterinarian.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's incredible.
Right,
And
there are peacock lovers too.
how do you? I mean, if you've never encountered a peacock before, and especially in Chicago, how do you?
Care for them.
You care for it? Yeah.
Well, the one of the best thing that you can learn in this place is that if we don't know, we're not shy of seeking knowledge. We're not shy of asking those people who knows. We got a network of expert, of friends that we can call anytime in the middle of the night, the day, to ask them question. We're not shy. We'll ask them, hey, we got a peacock here. What do they eat? you know
Good question.
right, and well, I can be, I can I can say, hey, laugh at somebody who say, you got a billy goat here or a pig, what do they eat? Yeah, I hear that question. What do a pig eat? I was a veterinarian in a farm, so I know what they eat. To me, that's common sense. But somebody here asking me, how are we gonna feed the pig? I don't know what the pig eat. And you know we educate them, or we call somebody else who educate them, because that's how you get knowledge, by asking questions. So the peacock, yeah, we ask the right people who told us do this A B C D, and we did. And that's just not the peacock. I don't want to make the monkey mad, but yes, we had monkeys here. Barely, like every year we get one or two of them. um,
Big monkeys, small monkeys. I mean,
Small, pretty small, and we send them to sanctuaries. And you're talking about snakes, you know, boa constrictor, python. We got all those. and the pig was kind of same week. Actually, that week, that the last week when we got the peacock, I think that was must be a special week because we got the peacock, we got the alligator, turtle,
Alligator turtle.
yes, and then we got the pig. So that's three special animals.
How do they get here?
Well, they in Chicago, everything starts with a stray animal. So you get a call. We got a system with 311 under the Salesforce uh, um, system where people call and say, "Hey, there's a strange animal here, or a stray alligator." This and that, and then we get those calls, then we send our officer to handle it. And when our officer goes there, um, if that's something that's new to them, they can always call us. And if we don't know, we'll find somebody who know those resources, who know how to handle them, who can explain to us. And it's just not the work of animal control, but it's a work of a whole community. We're very open to listen to people and utilize that knowledge they got to do the job in the best of our possibility.
But like, a peacock is not
Come
a
on.
naturally occurring animal in
No.
Chicago, and I don't know about alligator
No,
turtles, but
none of them. I mean, alligator turtle haven't. That was my first time seeing it.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago got strange animal. I mean, remember the alligator in the lagoon?
Oh, I remember.
Right, and even after that, we got, I believe, two more. From people. Most people smuggle them, like when they were baby, they look cute, and you bring them in your house, and you think that they're gonna stay small all your life. Then after a while, they cannot fit in the tank. You gotta put them in the bathtub. Then most of the time, someone come to do some repair at your house and see them and call. And we have a fox, albinos fox.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Right now?
was no, actually, that was a couple of years ago, and that was my first time seeing an albino fox. So yeah, and
That's
then
incredible.
of course everybody know about the cougar. That was I would say 15, 17 years ago. A cougar in downtown Chicago. We handled that one too.
And those, I mean, cougars, they they're in Illinois, right?
Well, they migrated, and they came from to that one came from downstate. Was followed by the state. Trying, everybody was looking for. They were siding, and it ended up in downtown Chicago. Hey,
I mean, it's a good place to go.
everybody loved downtown.
And is there like an aspect of the work that the department does that's most important, or is it all?
They all important, but within their importance, we prioritize with the level of staffing we got. You never have enough people to do everything, not just for us, but for everything in life. But then we have to make strategic decision to prioritize certain calls over orders. Not that we don't do all of them, we do all of them, but time, is so sensitive sometimes that we think that um, having a policy that deal with injured animals is more important than a policy that pick up a stray dogs. For example. Yeah, no. So our priority is to remove injured and sick animals off the street. Then they can get the care they need. And beside that, we think that a vicious dog attack is a priority over something else because that's when our core mandate is to protect public safety. So then we gotta remove that animals because somebody gonna get hurt. And assisting Chicago police, in calls with animal related, also we use that as a priority. So yes, we prioritize those calls over others. Stray animals. Yes, this is very important. But if we are confronted with a choice, that removing the injured animal will be a wiser choice.
Okay. And I know you mentioned staffing, and I know listened to most of the budget hearings last
Yes.
year, and I know that some aldermen seemed concerned that, you guys didn't have enough for marketing, animals and services. Was there, and I know that they had called for an increase in that or more resources. How did that shake out?
Well, let me say this. I we are so grateful, so thankful to the city council, to alderman, and to the mayor for thinking about helping us with marketing by giving us kind of a certain dollar amount to help us in that sense. Other than that, prior to that, we didn't have per se in the budget something for marketing. Instead, we were doing marketing, and we're still doing throughout social media, which is great. Everybody, go to social media, and we were doing that. We were having good Samaritan helping us with the billboards, putting their dogs to be adopted. And finally, we got that, help from the mayor and the city council, which are the man who, right, very proactive, thinking about us. And right now, we are in a working order to utilize that money to help us market our department in two point of view, because to control your population is just not to transfer animals, it's just not to adopt out animals, but also is to educate people, to tell them to be more responsible about their animals. Maybe sometimes it's just that little fence that you fail to fix all these years that your dog gonna use to get out. Maybe sometimes it's just microchip. So marketing, advertising, we want to advertise and market, we want to advertise us that we're here. We know that people have a busy life, are under a lot of pressure in life in general, but we want them to know that, you know regardless how busy you are, how busy your life is, there is a Chicago Animal Care Control who's located at 2741 Southwestern. And if you lose your dog, please come here first. You're most likely to find it here than anywhere else. And if it's not here, we always got resources to help you, to say do A, B, C, D. Go here, go there, go to the police station, go to your vet hospital, advise you, post some picture, go post it on Facebook and see what's gonna happen. So we got all those resources. That's where we got a tendency now. We're working with the mayor office connected us with CTA. We're working with CTA to
Okay.
have a platform there to advertise, maybe on the bus or the train. We're working on that. We're working the details right now, and we're working with other city professional expert in marketing, advertising, who advising us what to do. And soon we're gonna have a good products that's gonna make us shine. You know, shine because people gonna know we're here. That's the goal, to come redeem their animals. But also the goal is to sell the image of the pit bull that nobody wants. There's always somebody who loves that pit bull, and we will, like, blast that image. That's what we want to blast, that image, to connect that person out there who might love this pit bull right here. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah, no, I actually follow you guys on Instagram, and it's one
Yes.
of my favorite
Yes.
accounts. In that, I love seeing that when I
Yes.
see a post that's like this, dog has been here for a long time, and it's found its happy family, and that's
Yes, and I got to give credit when it's due. It's just not us. It's this amazing volunteer we got. They dedicate their I mean, the sacrifice this volunteer here do. I don't think I could do it. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm We all are hardworking people here, but they're working even twice for free to sacrifice their time. They could be with their family, kids, husband, wife, you know, mom, dad, but they pick 1 hour, 2 hours of that precious time they got to share it with us and come here. They'll walk these dogs to maintain them, maintain their psychological health. They'll help us, water the dogs, give water, food sometime, just, spot clean. And also, they're amazing. You got some of them who comes with arm with their camera. They take picture of the dog. They embellish it. They make it look great. They go to on social media, Instagram, and all them, and post it for free. They're not asking for anything. They just doing it because they want to help us. They love these animals and they appreciate us. They want to help, and that's what we love. We appreciate, and I want to thank them. Take this occasion, and without them, there won't be this place. There will not be this place. We cannot do it alone, and we never say thanks enough to them. And I want to profit to this occasion and to say thanks to all our volunteers, all of them,
How
without
many?
exception.
Do you know how many there are?
We enjoy for now, and I hope we can have 3,000, but we enjoy 150 in average. We got, I believe, 133 and 123, 133, and we got maybe 35 who are in training right now. And in average, we got 150, very dedicated. We appreciate every single minutes they spend here. The one that's come here every day and the ones that come once a day. We love all of them and we thank them.
That's awesome. Yeah, the people you don't see,
Hey, people
behind the
just think
scenes.
that people out there, some people will come to us sometimes and say, thank you for you guys, what you do. And I always tell them, don't thank me, the city worker. Thanks the unknown, unseen people behind us. Those are the volunteer and the rescue group that comes here and pick up dogs. We got rescue group. If they don't come here, transfer animals. If the volunteer didn't come here and help, uh, look, we love animals. All of us here are animal lover. By the way, don't tell anybody. I'm the only one who doesn't have a dog at home or a cat.
No dog, or do you have any?
No, everybody got. They all animal lover. But guess what? Uh, if we didn't have the volunteer and the rescue coming helping us with their dedication and their good heart, we will be euthanizing a score of animals.
Mhm.
There's no way around. But God bless all of them. So that's yeah. I don't have animals, but
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty here.
well, I
Uh,
tell everybody that I own all of them here.
Mhm.
So I see all of them.
Sure. Yeah. And what is it like? So, one of my favorite moments, I think it was in 2020, preparing for the 2021 budget.
Yeah.
Every year, I'm sure you hear the same questions from aldermen, or they're complaining about, or not complaining, but
Yeah,
concerned
they got
about
concern. They got
coyotes
concession. They got concern. Yes.
yes, geese maybe.
Yes.
I'm very much intimidated by
Right.
geese, but
Yeah.
I remember Alderman Carrie Austin in the 34th
Yes.
ward saying she has a little dog and
Yep.
she's concerned and there's a coyote and it's going to eat her dog, and you said
Yep.
something like, just hold the dog up and
That's
make
right.
it look bigger. It was just so
It's just coyote are territorial, of course, like many wildlife, but also they like to be dominant, but they're dominant with size. Size matter to them. Size doesn't matter much with a lot of species, including human, but size matter with a coyote for a fact because they see a small dogs as a rabbit, as a squirrel, food, and if you elevate anything that's small up to your thigh, it become bigger.
it's just that simple.
That's simple. And the coyote look at that and say, wow, this is a big prey. I cannot mess with this. Because you never hear a coyote attacking a dog about the same size than a coyote. It's always a small little bitty poodle in Chihuahua. But just, let me leave the Chihuahua alone. Chihuahua know how to defend themselves.
Yeah, I've
Yes, that's
encountered
like
some
that's
chihuahuas.
that's one method of hazing. Um, Making noise is another method. Coyote are very shy. They're very shy. They And we got a coyote management plan actually that we share a great management plan. It's not great because we did it, we work on it. That's because we work on it with Lincoln Park Zoo and a PhD from Cambridge, all expert people. And what that management plan teach people, we share it with every alderman actually, and
Okay.
everywhere actually is available in our website, City of Chicago Animal Care. What that coyote plan teach people is cohabitation, education, um, to fight somebody, anybody, and to be able to win, you have to know your adversary. You have to educate yourself and put yourself in the same shoes than your adversary and understand them. Then you can fight them. Chasing coyote is one thing. Good luck to catch them, or using a tranquilizer, and you catch one, three come and occupy that space. But understanding their environment, their biology, their reproduction will help you understand why they're coming toward you. You know, most they hunters is, what do they hunt? Food. You know, maybe you got a source of food that attract them. You know, in an urban area, that's most of the time garbage. People don't close their garbage. They're not. It's not clean. You got food around. All you need to do is fix that problem. Keep it clean. Keep clean your backyard. Remove all debris. You know, and close your garbage, and you won't see them anymore. That's as simple. And if you see them, they're so shy that they'll change direction most of the time. And if they don't, because they're protecting a den, maybe
Okay.
they become territorial. And all you need to do, make noise. They cannot stand noise, loud music. You know, that's one of those days that you gotta listen to
Yeah.
loud music. You know, then or just clap your hands. Use an air horn. Buy you an air horn at the store, and those party air horn that you use at the party, you can use them with the coyote to make noise. And most of the time they will go. And if they become threatening to a point that those methods don't work, that's the time to call 311 911, and we will come and safely remove them.
Okay.
How do we remove them? We tranquilize them and relocate them.
And I didn't know coyotes were so shy.
Well, yes, very shy, yeah.
And are there, like, when it comes to dealing with, you serve the whole city, when it comes to dealing with, the 50 wards or different areas of the city, is there like a map that shows where the most calls come from, or is there an
Yes.
alderman who's always like, we've got we've got more chickens, we've got more geese?
Yes, yes, we love our aldermen. They always call us to help their constituent, but also the alderman office been trained to enter all those calls in a system called Salesforce with 311. And actually, the city was so grateful to invest a lot of money a couple of years ago to make that system available to the constituent also. They can directly enter it from their phone, their tablet, smartphone, under sheet 311, and enter their request there. So we get those requests. They are centralized. They come to us, and when we look at those calls, it allows us to map where the main calls are, and the bulk of our calls actually come from the neighborhood of what you call it again, Roseland and Austin.
Okay.
But then you got some, in other area too sometime. But depending on the area, some area you get they got more like a wildlife issue than a stray dog issue. Other area got more like a stray cat issue than a stray dog issue. But the bulk of the call, the majority of our calls come from Austin and Roseland, and we concentrate a lot of effort there. Not that to say that we don't do anything in other part of the city, because we service each single acre, miles, and surface in the city. We cover the same geographical area that the Chicago police does.
Okay.
We got beats just like them, and we go everywhere. So what we have been doing lately this year was that we, after identifying where the bulk of your calls are coming, again, we change our mentality these last years, that not to chase an issue, but to understand where the issue is coming from and what motivate that issue, what driving that issue, and then go tackle that driving factor. And sometimes it's a matter of resource. So we right now working with the University of Wisconsin veterinary school with their shelter medicine department. We're doing survey in those areas. We started with Roseland, and once all this work is done, we're gonna get a report, and we know what we want to do is to provide resource referral to people. Um, you kind of learn so far that people love their animals in Chicago, but there are circumstances that force them to give up those animals, and sometimes it could be something like easy fix, like people got a fencing issue, a door doesn't lock, and if we can, we try to identify all that and say, hey, maybe we can refer them to a third party, a non-profit who can help them fix that problem, who can help them with their roof. You know, sometimes it's just dog food, a bag of dog food. People love their animals but cannot afford a bag of dog food, and we help them with food. Cat food, dog food, litter, something to relieve them. And we organize a bunch of vaccine clinic that's very popular. Most of the time it's free, and if it's not free, it's very low cost, accessible. We team up with partner from the coalition of shelter and from Cook County a lot. Who pay for it, the veterinarian, and also for and provide those resources in those neighborhood and other neighborhood too.
And when you say those two neighborhoods are getting, you know, having the most
Right.
calls, are those calls for?
They're mainly stray dogs, stray
Okay.
cats. Yeah.
Okay. And you said the vaccine clinics; those
Yes.
are rabies or
The core vaccine, distemper, para-influenza, and parvo, but also there's rabies, and that's microchip. And microchip is the when I moved here over 20 years ago, I was asking, why do you microchip your dog? Just keep your dog. To me, it was that simple.
right.
I came from overseas. It's that simple. Keep your dog in your house. Why you microchip your dog? To realize that it doesn't take but 1 second for your dog or your cat to be gone, and you lost a member of your family. And once it's gone, the time start clicking. And what's gonna reunite you, save your animals, get you back your animals, in 80 to 90% of the case, that's that little bitty microchip. That little bitty microchip, and against the belief of certain people thinking about, oh, that's the government trying to track me. No, that's not the government trying to track you. That's you putting something in your animals that's gonna help you reunite with your animals. We do not want your animals to go to somebody else but you. And we offer those microchip in the clinic with the clinic, and we encourage people to take advantage of those. That's gonna make the difference. And when you get them, do not forget the most important is not to get them, is to register.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to us. It's totally frustrating that people get a microchip, do not register, or they register and never update their information. Their 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 phone change, their address change. Please, it just take 1 minute.
Because then, what good is the chip if they can't find you? Is that?
You first of all, we mad at you, and number two, we mad at ourselves, and then we messed up our dates, and then we got the animals here. We're gonna have just to transfer it. We got no other choice. We're gonna have to transfer it to a rescue, And I know the rescue doesn't like that situation either. They prefer your dog to go back to you, your cat to go back to you. And it takes just one phone call. I know that we all got a lot of time to chat with our cousin, sister for hours on the phone. Just cut 2 minutes of it and call the microchip company and say, hey, my address has changed. I got a new phone number. And that's it. That's all it takes. Nobody gonna ask you any other question. They're gonna say, thank you so much. It's updated. And I believe you can even do it online.
Yeah, I think I've
Right.
changed my
Right.
address online, and it
If you don't
was
feel like to talk to
fact
anybody,
simple.
yes, go do it. And if you don't want to do anything, look, have your teenager kids to do it. They love this computer, and
Right.
that's gonna occupy them.
Yeah.
Because if the dog gets lost, everybody gets hurt in the family. We see that so many times. It's just kind of heartbreaking to have a dog here with a microchip and no information is up to date. But we'll do everything in our possible, and that's the opportunity to thanks Microchip Hunter. They're amazing. I hope they're not listening, but they don't like to hear that, probably, that they're amazing, but they are amazing. um, those people create miracle. When you give them a microchip, even with the wrong information, they'll find the owner. They'll do
Wow.
everything to find the owner. I don't know how they do it.
But they get it done.
They get it done.
That's great. That's great. And so I know we talked a little bit about, plans to market not just, the lovely pets that are cats and dogs that are
Yep.
here, and, resources that, you guys can offer. But is there anything else, I guess, that's on the horizon, or what can we expect in the coming year, or is it just
Well,
recovering from uncertainty over the past couple of years?
Well, I don't want to say uncertainty. I got faith to not just the system, but I got faith to people. People been going through a lot. People lost their loved one. People got sick and still recovering a year after from the second of side effect of the virus. And I just want to encourage people to hold each other hands and understand that everything gonna be positive. Life is beautiful, and everything gonna be positive. We won't see more animals here. I'm optimistic that this problem gonna be resolved. Yes, people gonna take care of their animals. They're gonna love them. They're gonna do everything in their power to keep them at home. And if they lose them, they're gonna know that we're here for them. They can come here first, and we can offer them resources. We can direct them the right place to go. And just I want the optimism to be spray and share everywhere. With our volunteer, our rescue partner, our friends, and with the people of Chicago, but the country. Just to let them know that everything's gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. The dogs and the cats gonna be okay. We all gonna work together to keep them at home, not on the street. And the one that's on the street, we're gonna work hard to bring them in to keep them safe, and hopefully they're gonna be reunited with their own. My message is just a message of optimism. You know, Remember the cycle. Everything that goes down will come back up.
That's a good thing
Right.
to remember.
Right.
Thanks for listening to the Cloutcast. This episode was produced by me, Erin Hegarty, and edited by Alex Nitkin. We'll be back in another 2 weeks with another fresh episode for your listening ears. See ya.